Lawmakers are set for a classified briefing about those mystery drones flying over many parts of the East Coast. The Pentagon also set to take questions today at a briefing. It and several other agencies insist these drones don't pose a threat at this time and admit the military is restricted in what it can do until there's proof of a threat. NewsNation's Joe Khalil is on Capitol Hill today. Joe, you've been talking to lawmakers about these drones. Have you even spoken to one lawmaker who can give you anything to work with and say what's going on here?
You know, honestly, no, Markie. Every single lawmaker, even those at the very highest levels of the intelligence committees, those members have been really frustrated from the beginning of this episode because several of them have told us they are either not getting the information. Most truly believed up until yesterday that the White House and several agencies that handle national security simply didn't know what these things were. Now we have a bit more information overnight from the White House and from all of our national security and defense agencies together, putting out a joint statement. So this is the Pentagon, the FBI, the FAA, and Homeland Security all together saying here, quote, "We assess the sightings to date include a combination of lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, law enforcement drones, as well as manned fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, and STARS, mistakenly reported as drones." And it goes on to say, "We have not identified anything anomalous and do not assess that the activity to date presents a national security or public safety risk." So in other words, nothing to see here. Despite that, you can imagine there are still a lot of people who observed these things on the ground, who described seeing these things the size of cars or bigger. Even lawmakers all saying that explanation they just got doesn't exactly quiet their concerns. Still a lot of skepticism from several lawmakers here on Capitol Hill. Just take a listen to Chris Smith. He's a congressman. He's a Republican from New Jersey. He says, describing his district in New Jersey, that his law enforcement, his military members there, he's got a base there, have all seen these things do strange things, in some cases even follow Coast Guard boats in his district. So the explanation that he got, he's not exactly buying. Take a listen.
Many law enforcement people have seen it. They've seen it in a way that suggests formations that are coming off the ocean into the land. And even with the Coast Guard, I spoke to one of the commanders who said one of our 47-foot rescue boats, right on its stern, were between 12 and 30 drones following close proximity to that. I mean, they had no idea who they were.
So again, Markie, he's not the only person who has expressed some skepticism and is hesitant to accept what the White House is saying about this. There is a planned classified briefing for the House Intelligence Committee later on this afternoon today. That is a big deal. Obviously, it's classified, so we won't know in detail what is said inside of that private room. But several occasions, lawmakers will come out after those kinds of briefings and just characterize it. How did you feel? Did you get answers that satisfied you? So hopefully we'll get some of that later today.
Yeah, I imagine several of them will be willing to talk after this classified briefing. Joe Khalil, thank you so much. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.